Okay, just doing a little soldering on the connectors here, and I just thought I'd show you guys what I'm up to. Oh man, okay, well it is hard to do this with one hand. Oh man, okay, well it is hard to do this with one hand. Oh, hi there. Your timing is perfect. I was just about to take a break from my electrical project here and do an Instagram story. I like to keep my followers up to date on what I'm doing, as I'm doing it, that sort of thing, you know. So usually what I do is as I'm going along here and I get to a point where I think, oh, this could be interesting. Usually pick up my phone, turn it on, and start working sort of like this. And well, it's a little awkward, and you may have run into the same situation. So I've come up with a tip, and I'd like to share it with you guys right now, and who knows, it might even improve your Instagram stories just a little bit. And it's kind of a fun project, so check it out. So what I'm going to show you how to build is a hands-free desktop phone holder. It can also be used for small cameras. This project requires only a few components. I purchased these first two parts at my local hardware store, but all of the pieces for this project can be purchased from Amazon. I'll have a complete parts list and links below in the description. Yep, that's a 5-pound barbell weight. This cool little photo accessory is known as a mini magic arm. There's plenty of choices for universal phone clamps on the market, but I found that this was a pretty good value for the price. The size of the bolt I'm using for this project is 1/4 and they're about 3/4 of an inch long. The head style is up to you and the washers are optional. We're going to put some EVA craft foam on the bottom to give it some grip and to also protect any sensitive table surfaces. To stick it down, I find that spray glue or contact cement work pretty good. The first step in the assembly process is to screw the plug into the floor flange. This really only needs to be hand tight, but if you want to, you can either use a wrench or put it upside down in a vise and you can snug it up a little bit more. Set the floor flange on top of the barbell weight and visually center it. Using a light color marker, transfer the hole locations. This is where we're going to drill and tap for the 1/4 bolts. We're going to have to drill a hole in the center of this plug, and this raised lettering is going to cause us a little bit of trouble, so once I get in the garage, I'm going to grind this off smooth. Okay, do you see what I just noticed? This casting is a little bit crooked, and we don't need a perfectly level top surface on here, but it should be straighter than this. All this really means is that I'm just going to have to grind off a little bit more metal than I had planned. When drilling holes into small parts like this, I always recommend securing your work to something, even if it's a piece of scrap wood like this. For the sake of accuracy, I like to use a center drill to create a pilot hole before I use my final drill size. I'm using a 7/32 inch diameter drill bit. That'll give me the recommended 50% thread depth for this cast iron. These 4 holes in the barbell weight are going to be exactly the same as the one that's in the plug, so we're going to use the same size drill and same procedure. Cast iron is kind of brittle, so it makes kind of crunching sounds when you're drilling and tapping it, so don't be too worried, just use plenty of oil. I couldn't resist shining this up a little bit. These barbell castings can be a little lumpy, so be sure that you've got the smooth side down to prevent wobbles. The black cap screws would have given me some nice contrast, but I like the sparkle of these stainless steel ones. Floor flange castings can vary, so this is where you would use washers if you felt that it would look better. I like the way that these bolt heads sit down in the countersink, so I decided not to use washers on mine. Having this 1/4 threaded hole here makes this base very versatile, and having access to the bottom of it even gives us more options. This magic arm features 1/4 threaded studs on both ends, which is pretty standard for camera accessories, so we can actually attach this directly. But this particular model came with an adapter, which I think I'm going to take advantage of because it'll give me a little bit of extra height. The available thread depth in this adapter is about 1/2 inch, so the same size bolt I used in the base should work just fine. If you choose this option, be sure to tighten the bolt really good, or even better, use a lock washer or some Loctite. The reason being is that as you're screwing things on from the top, you don't want the bolt unscrewing from the bottom. I decided to go with a 3mm craft foam. I need to cut a circle the size of the weight, but I also want to put a hole in the middle so I have access to that bolt. A drafting compass really comes in handy for things like this. I want to offset the edge of the foam just slightly inside the edge of the weight. I got a little sidetracked here, but you might like this. Before I even had a chance to mount my phone to this new rig, I was already brainstorming things that I could do with my Sony camera and this new small rig frame. Check this out! Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, attaching the phone. The reason it's called a magic arm is because one knob controls all the joints. Well, it's time to put the phone in here and show you guys exactly how this thing works. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like button, and also if you're a subscriber, remember to hit the little bell button because that will give you notifications when my new videos are available. So thanks a lot for watching.
Well, it's kind of hard to do with one hand.